Thank you. And 2 minutes now, Mr. Arnott.
We're here today, Madam President, to debate the agreement on the European Union budget for 2018, but it would seem to me that the European Union budgets for 2019, 2020 and, as far as is reasonably foreseeable into the future, might just as well have also been agreed. The United Kingdom has been a net contributor to the European Union since we joined it in the 1970s, and as one of the richer countries in Europe, as members we've always paid in more than we've got out, and we'll continue to do so again in 2018 because those are the rules and because we're still members, despite the fact that by the end of 2018 it'll be 2.5 years since the UK voted to leave the EU in that referendum. And of course, according to this budget, we'll still be paying in over £18 billion a year gross, and then get back roughly half of that in rebate and EU funding. Bizarrely, though, it seems that the UK will still be paying into the European Union after leaving the EU, whether it's £40 billion or £50 billion, 45 or 55 billion euros. The UK has no legal liability whatsoever to pay any form of divorce bill. And of course, if you have an agreement, then you expect something in return for your money. Yet Theresa May has surrendered that. She's expected to surrender to on the Northern Ireland border and to surrender to allow European courts jurisdiction over the EU post-Brexit, which is what we voted to get out of in the first place. The killer question, though, for the British Prime Minister is this. Can you show us one single thing that you've actually obtained in return? Show us one concession that's been made on the EU side, because all we see is you caving in whilst British Remain politicians egg you on. Of course you can't. So in 2018, the British taxpayer will continue to foot the bill. And when it comes to that divorce bill, that's the equivalent of £1,000 for every adult in the UK without any guarantee of anything in return that has been signed up to by Theresa May.
There is a blue card. Mr. FRUNZULICță.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I may ask my colleague, Mr. Arnott, don't you think so that UK, as a civilized European country that is sharing the European values, that is defending and promoting the European values, should have to pay its normal bill and to remain in close relationship with Europe, as you are intending to have access to the common market and to the customs union of the European Union?
Of course, in any negotiation, you want a little bit of give and take. You want something to happen on both sides. But what we've got at the moment is all give from the British Prime Minister's side and all take from the European Union side. When you start from the legal basis on this, where the treaties under Article 50, subsection 3 of the Lisbon Treaty says that the treaties shall cease to apply, that overrides all other things. The hierarchy of norms applies. So there is no legal requirement for the UK to pay. Of course, you know, if you leave and services have already been provided, then there's a reason to say, yes, pay something for that. But of course, there are arguments on both sides. And the UK could easily take aim, for example, as a share of the European Investment Bank. Sorry.